It's time to move on to our final topic for this episode. Oh man, oh man, man, oh man. Listen, Cam, I got something to say here. I got something to say. Let me get some water because I'm feeling a little choked up here.
Oh boy, talk to me, talk to me. Whew. You good? You good? Ice cold? That was ice cold water, right there,
Ice
big dog?
cold.
Ice
Ice
cold. All right.
cold. You know what? I think the ice melted a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
still ice cold. It's still cold.
Yeah.
It's good enough. It's good enough.
Okay. It's good.
I don't
It's
like
good.
I don't like hot water. I don't like warm water. I'm one of them guys. I like my water cold. I like my water Alaska cold.
Woo! Get that brain freezing.
But look, I will say this. A lot of people, and it's understandable. I'm not gonna, question other people's thoughts and actual feelings. It's understandable. The Real Leel, trust me, I understand. A lot of people say the Pat Mahomes era is here. Okay, yeah, it's here. He won a Super Bowl. He was one of the youngest to ever, if not the youngest to ever. He is the youngest to ever win a Super Bowl, youngest quarterback. But guess what? Tom Brady got more playoff wins than Pat Mahomes played in regular season games. Okay, let's make that clear. And yes, they I know a lot of guys they re-signing to a lot of massive deals and all that. But listen, he got to share some of that love because last time I checked, Goat Brady, his era ain't done yet because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just made some moves today. Like they need to make the move. They already made a lot of moves. But they was like, you know what? We going for it. We going for it. We going to build a super team. And that's what it is. This is a super team right here. This is your Warriors of the NFL right now. Think about some of the good super teams. As a matter of fact, before we get there, let me announce what I want to talk about. Listen, Leonard Fournette signed a 1-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, as I go through this deal, before you give your reactions, Cam, this deal is worth a max value of $3.5 million. He gets paid $2 million in base salary, and he can add $4.2 million if he wins his grievance that he filed against the Jaguars. A cheap deal off the rack. We all know he got released by the Jaguars, who shows they want to tank right now. That's what their intentions are doing is tanking, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' intentions are winning the Super Bowl, going the opposite route. Right. So, Cam, Coach Mello, talk to me. What are your thoughts on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers landing Leonard Fournette?
To be honest with you, this is a great signing. I'm going to tell you why this is a great signing. This offense is going to be the most balanced offense in the NFL. To be honest with you, like how I predicted, how I see it, honestly, is like another version. It's like Brady's back in New England all over again. Reason why I say that, he have two reliable receivers. At this point, you're telling defenses that, hey, pick your poison. So if you think that you're going to lock down Mike Evans or like Chris Goodwin, all right, no problem. That's no problem. We're gonna run the ball down your throat with the Fournette. I actually believe that this offense right there is going to be balanced.
Exactly. Perfectly said. It is a win-win situation. I mean, the Buccaneers, this was a move that they wanted to make before a couple months ago when all these free agent signings was happening, but they couldn't make it because of the cap, and they didn't want to be over the cap. So in order for this to transpire, the Jaguars would have had to release him. He would have had to be a free agent. He would have signed a cheap deal. So to the Buccaneers credit and to the Buccaneers, yes, this is what it is. No team wanted to trade for him. The Jaguars were trying to offer him up for a trade. They couldn't even get a 5th or 6th round pick for the guy. So they had to release him, and the Buccaneers, they looked at him and was like, yes, that's our guy. And you know what? This is a win-win on both sides because let's look at it from Fournette's perspective. First of all, last year the brother rushed for 1,152 yards, caught 76 passes for 522 yards. Not bad. If he can replicate those same stats, if he can replicate that this year with all the other weapons they have already, the Buccaneers is going to be hard to stop. Even if he replicates that 1,152 yards with the same amount of receptions, he replicates that. That's all he needs to do for that team. And you think about Florida, and there's no state tax in Florida, so he gets to stay in the same state that he was already in. And when you think about his grievance that he may lose $4 million, you don't want to pay that state tax if you're already losing money. So it works out for him. You also think about Ronald Jones Jr. I mean, you think about the running backs outside of Leonard Fournette that's already on the Buccaneers. Yes, you have Shady McCoy, but Shady McCoy was benched in the playoffs last year in the Chiefs with a running game where he could have literally been the number one guy if he wanted to. He ran out
Absolutely.
of gas last year, and that's what it was. And you also think about Ronald Jones Jr. The guy didn't even reach 1,000 yards last year. He's an unproven commodity. He's 700 something yards. I believe it was 724 yards he was
Right.
for last year. They didn't even get to 1,000. So he's still the unproven commodity. Then you got Keyshawn Vaughn out of Vanderbilt, who a rookie who we still have to, adjust to the game. We all know with the COVID protocols and the way how camp started late and not having preseason games, it's going to be harder for these rookies to develop, especially late round rookies. So
Right.
this was the move they needed to make. He can go in and instantly be the number one running back on the depth chart. And he also has a friend over there that he played with at LSU and Devin Wright as
Oh yeah.
well. His friend, his teammate and friend,
Oh yeah.
honestly. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is going to be hard to stop. Now you got, Leonard Fournette. You got a good running game now. You fixed the hole in the running game. You fixed the hole in the offensive line by drafting a guy like Tristan Wirfs. You
Oh
still
yeah.
got Ali Marpet. You got Donovan Smith as well. You got the three tight ends, and Gronk, Brate, and OJ Howard. I mean, that's good. You got the wide receiving duo and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. And you also got a new wide receiver that's emerging in camp, Scotty Miller, who's actually Tom Brady's favorite target, which is not even the number one or two target. He already found another favorite target. That's the
Oh
number
yeah.
three. Oh, my gosh. Nobody's stopping his offense.
No.
Nobody. And they're going to have the best offensive football this year. A lot of people say, oh, is Tom Brady arm strength still there? It doesn't even have to be. They can run short passes. They can run the rock. And from what I heard, he looks good in camp. And you also got a top 10 defense with a lot of talent. When you look at this roster, bro, and you look at the names defensively, offensively, Ndamukong Suh, Devin Wright, Shaquille Barrett, Fournette, Gronk, Mike Evans,
Carl
Chris
Davis.
Godwin, Tom Brady. I never seen so much talent on one roster in my life.
I predicted, like, in my opinion, the only way that this Heat team could beat this Bucks team, stop Giannis, make everyone else shoot. I don't care if Brook Lopez scored 20 plus on me. I don't care if Middleton scored 20 plus on me. Bledsoe, I don't care about that. I just felt like as long as you slow down Giannis, stop Giannis to, of course, don't get me wrong, he's going to score some points, but you slow him down, don't make him get hot. You know how I say, Giannis is a finisher. You know what I mean? Like, he just drive to the hoop and just dunk the ball. But if you slow that down, oh man, trust me, you're gonna give Giannis a nightmare.